Hi, this is Katie Johnson, and thank you for joining me today. We are going to make a fall card using the Soft Seedlings stamp set. A couple of things I really like about this stamp set. I love the fact that this is a distinctive stamp, which means you're going to get all the variation that you see in the image on the package. That's going to all show up with the inking. And then I do love the font that's used on these words. Actually, I really like the fact that there's the word hello in here. That's just a really useful sentiment to have, because then you can turn your card into anything that you want. All right, we're going to make this on crumb cake cardstock. We're going to use Versamark to create a watermark image for the background, and then we're also going to use Versamark to do some clear embossing. So let's start by taking the big leaf and just putting some images off on the left for background interest. Versamark is a very versatile ink. It gives a tone-on-tone look when you just stamp it on your project, but it's gooey and can also be used to do heat embossing. One thing I'll point out is that, and I'm going to stamp one more so you can see what I'm talking about, but the Versamark takes time to actually react with the paper. So when you first put it on, you might think that nothing has happened, but then as you let time go by, you'll see that it does get darker. Now this piece of cardstock is going to lay on the card front here. I want a little bit of the leaf to show in the background, and I don't care about the stem because it's going to be hidden behind that piece. So we will ink it up one more time. Place it so that we have some of that leaf hanging down, and we're good to go. And now you can see what I mean about how light it goes on initially, but then as soon as it starts to react with the paper, it will darken up. There you can see it start to come already, and it will end up getting just as dark as what you see on the left. All right, we're going to let that sit and react and dry, and we're going to create the image that's going to be on here. Now my plan is to stamp this leaf and then heat emboss it, and then come back and do some sponging over the top of it with some nice fall colors. So I just said that Versamark is great for heat embossing, and now I'm not going to use it. I decided, based on the sample that I made before I'm filming this video, that I wanted to go a little bit darker on the ink color. So we're going to actually heat emboss with the crumb cake. Now Stampin' Up's inks are gooey enough that you can use them for heat embossing. We only have a few of the embossing colors, black, white, clear, then some of the metallics. But when you use the clear, you can heat emboss in any color that we have. So we're just going to heat emboss with the crumb cake on crumb cake. See what I mean about the differential inking that you get on there? Okay, you do want to sprinkle the embossing powder on right away while the ink is still wet. So pretty. Oh gosh, that is so pretty all by itself. Now I'm kind of committed to my original plan here, but this is really pretty. So my original plan was to come back and do some sponging on here. I brought in some fall colors, so I have cherry cobbler because maple trees, this is maple trees tend to turn red when they turn. Brought in some pumpkin pie, and I brought a little bit of crushed curry in here. Bringing the other supporting colors in from the side, but I'm going to bring in the reds for the maple leaf itself. Bring this crumb cake ink back in, and we're going to put our sentiment on here. This is going to fit in. Oh, that's pretty. Isn't that pretty? And I'm going to come back and put my sentiment in down below. All right, I want this to stand out from the card, so I'm actually going to use foam adhesive sheets rather than the dimensionals, just because this will make it a little bit more sturdy and stable on the card front. time for an embellishment. I'm going to use the brushed metallic adhesive backed dots. I love the fact they're adhesive backed. It's so super easy to use them. They come in 3 colors. They come in the gold, the copper, and oh, I don't know what you call that, but it works perfect with the crumb cake, whatever the color is. And then I store my open embellishments. I store them in these 6x8 envelopes. Stampin' Up! Sells packages of 50 of these 6x8 envelopes, and it's just a perfect way to keep them visible. And I use my label maker on a half sheet of paper in there so I know what's what, but it's just it's a really handy way to keep them while I'm working. But this is just a really handy way to keep them, and I keep them in a box, and then I can see the labels on the top, and because it's clear, I can see right through the envelope, and then the fact that it's in the envelope means I'm not at risk of having these things get knocked off if they're being moved around in a box. So there's my card. I love that little bit of shine that you get from the embossing on there and then picking up all the fall colors. So this is Katie Johnson. I hope you have an incredible day, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.